Okay, all members are present and accounted for. Mr. Mahoney is on a business trip, so he will not be able to make it tonight. So we'll open up with a roll call, which we just did, and then resident comments, if there's any residents that want to come up to the podium and ask a question. Yep, agenda items only. Okay, let's move on to number 3, finance. Could I get a motion to accept the warrants as submitted, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Carries 8-0. The internal claims audit report, could I get a motion to accept that, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Carries 8-0. And the treasurer's report for the month of November. Could I get a motion to accept that, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 0. Let's move on to the approval of the minutes, the working session of December 7th. Mr. Hunter, you were absent for that. Could I get a motion to accept those minutes, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One abstention, okay. That's 701. Let's see, the meeting minutes, accepting the meeting minutes of December 8th. All members were present at that meeting. Could I get a motion to accept, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Then there's the special meeting and public hearing of December 21st. Mr. Hunter, Mrs. Musafra, Mrs. Mancuso, and Mrs. Zimmerman were not able to attend that meeting. Could I get a motion to accept the minutes, please?
So moved.
We have, let's see, 4. We're not going to have enough, because we only have 8. Yeah, we only have 4, because there'll be, okay. So we'll have to move this, the approval of these minutes, to the next meeting. Okay. Okay, let's move on to our Student Most Presidents report.
Okay, so as far as community service goes, the student government has been pretty busy lately. In December, we donated hundreds of toys to Maria Ferrer Children's Hospital. And while we were there, we met with a lot of the nurses who work there at the NICU. And we decided to continue to work with Maria Ferrer. This is something that we all felt strongly about. So we're going to be funding the scrapbooking project that already exists. Lauren Steinitz actually established this scrapbooking project for her Gold Award last year, but it's not funded by the hospital. The scrapbooking project basically just allows mothers to leave their child's bedside to help them cope with what's going on with their babies. So we just thought it was a really nice thing to do, so we're going to continue to fund that in the future. And on top of that, tomorrow we have a meeting with the representative from Community Cares and SAFE, and we're going to see what we can do for them, because the Community Cares has always been a charity that the senior class has been involved in, but we're really trying to make it a school-wide thing, and we're just going to meet with her tomorrow to kind of see what we can do. As far as the high school goes, we met a few weeks ago with Dr. Pease to kind of just address some school issues. I know that a couple seniors were having trouble with the parking lot, just like the way that it is set up. A couple other issues also we just smoothed out, and also we communicated some ideas that we had to better the school. It was really nice to see we just put in place charging stations. I don't know if anybody has seen a few months ago we actually brought that up to him, so it's just nice to see that that's been that our voices are being heard, but everybody loves these charging stations. And also, lastly, a couple representatives from MOST have been sitting on the STRIVE committee, which is basically started by our administrators to just kind of implement a moral code to reward positive behavior within the high school. So we've been sitting on a committee trying to see what we can do to kind of reward students who are positive role models in the high school. So we're thinking about starting a peer mentoring program to kind of help introduce 8th graders into the high school, see what we can do to help them get on the right track, join clubs, sports, set them up, build a resume for college. So that's still in the works, but it's definitely something that we think could improve the high school. That's fine.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Creed?
As Ms. Kirby has pointed out, our high school students are extremely involved not only in positive role model sharing, but also with community service. The students throughout the school district were very generous in supporting each other in the recent holidays with giving trees and toy drives, and actually support for families that are struggling. No matter what school you went to, you had people that were donating and volunteering to make sure that the holiday spirit was enabled to be experienced by all families in the Mahopac community. In particular, just yesterday, the state released data on our high school, which shows that our Regents diploma rate was 94%, with advanced status was 50%. And in the sense of our high school graduation rate, it's up to a 96% for a 5-year cohort, 91% for a 4-year. Our students are graduating at not only exceedingly high levels, but also the proficient level for English as well as math is at 94% according to the Regents data. Congratulations are due not only to the students, but to the teachers and the administrators of our high school, because we are producing surely not only the next generation of scholars, but the next generation of leaders of our country. So on behalf of the school district, all I can say is a job well done, and to encourage everyone to continue with this labor of love, which is to prepare the next generation of our nation's leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Creedon. Okay, let's move on to the committee reports. We'll start down on the right side this time. Mr. Bell?
Good evening. Buildings and Grounds met on December 21st at 8:30, and it was attended by Ron Klamser, George Prine, myself, Mr. Sclafani, and Dr. Creedon, as well as Garrett Hamlin from Tetra Tech, which is an architectural and engineering firm, and also Aldo Masfero, who's from ECG Engineering. They presented us with the results from a request for a proposal for a possible energy performance contract that the district will be evaluating. 4 companies came forward and put forth proposals. The next step in the process is that interviews will be held, I believe, starting this week with those companies, and it'll be shared at the next D&G meeting, Buildings and Grounds meeting, on January 26th at 8:30. From that point forward, it's expected that the proposal that is successful and is accepted will be presented to the full board at the next month's meeting, February 9th, where ECG and the company that was awarded this will give a presentation on this project.
Thank you. Mr. Hunter?
Excuse me. The audit committee did not meet. We look to schedule the next meeting probably within the next month or two prior to the internal audit.
Okay. Mr. McClaren?
The HR committee did meet on January the 6th, and at this time, I'm not at liberty to discuss anything.
Okay.
Hi. The curriculum committee did not meet this past month due to the holiday season. We will be meeting later this month, and we'll have a full report for you at our next board meeting.
Thank you. Ms. Mancuso?
Special ed will meet next month. We will not meet this month.
Okay. Ms. Masaki?
Yeah.
Yep.
Technology did not meet, but on December 21st, we did have the Smart Bond public hearing. I'm sorry. On December 21st, we did have the Smart Bond public meeting, which we approved the approval of proceeding to see what technology needs our district will require. Thank you.
Mrs. Zimmerman?
Transportation did not meet in December. We look forward to having our next meeting this month, January 20th. So look forward to and encourage the public to join us for that committee meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that anyone would like to remove or discuss? I will ask that we remove subject G for the custodial agreement so that we could vote on that separately. In my capacity with the company I work for, I can't be involved in voting for any financial institution, so I'll recuse myself from that. So other than letter G, is there anything anyone else would like to discuss? Okay. Could I get a motion to accept the consent agenda excluding letter G? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any no votes, any abstentions? Thank you. Let's move to the consent agenda, letter G. Could I get a motion to accept? Sure, explain letter G? This is the custodial agreement for the finances of the school district? Correct, with JP Morgan Chase. Okay. Could I get a motion to accept G, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I recuse myself from that vote.
As do I.
Okay, as Mr. Hunter as well. Thank you. So we have two individuals that recuse themselves. Resident comments. Does anybody have anything they want to come up and talk about? I did want to piggyback on what Mr. Bell talked about. The Buildings and Grounds Committee, headed up by Mr. Bell, with the efforts of Mr. Clamser and our new architectural firm, has identified a tremendous amount of work that needs to be done. Our buildings are in a level of disrepair. We need to address. The roofs are the biggest problem right now. We have leaking roofs, and part of what we're trying to piggyback on is the energy audit, which could potentially give us an opportunity to bring in solar. We're obviously not going to do that if we have roofs that need to be replaced. So we will be in the budget discussing how we're going to roll that out, how we're going to roll out the roof replacements for the buildings in the district, as well as the other issues that were identified that Mr. Bell talked about in the report from Tetra Tech. So that's a very important thing. I wanted to point it out to the community that we're going to be focusing a lot on our facilities. Okay. Anybody else would like to say anything? Okay. Could I get a motion to close the meeting? Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Good night, everyone.